Where do you find that reserve? Where does that come from, do you think,
It
Tyson?
comes from deep down within my soul. A true bred born fighting man who never quits, never says die. And if I was ever going to jack it, it wouldn't have been in a boxing ring. It'd have been when I was suffering with mental health. I was on the verge of suicide. That's when I'd have quit. But I didn't quit on myself, and I didn't quit on the world. That's why I'm back here to tell a story.
Well, we have a lot of folks who take in this show, listening, watching, who whenever the subject of mental health comes up, they sit up straight, because there's so many people that are struggling with mental
100%.
health. And it's something that you can't identify because there's no cast, there's no crutch. It's just something that goes on between the temples of somebody, and you have no idea what somebody's struggling with. What do you say to people who are right now listening to you and maybe knowing your story or not, to those people to have them get off the mat?
You know, life's hard. Nothing's ever going to hit you as hard as life will. And anyone who suffers with mental health problems, it is a silent killer. Kills more people every year than most other things. Of men under 35, it's the biggest killer on earth. And I was no different. You know, you're thinking the heavyweight champion of the world, guy who's on top of everything, he must be happy, right? But then I wasn't. There wasn't a day that I woke up that I didn't pray for death. You know, I had everything to be happy for, but every day was grey and dark. And my problem was, I come from a big, hard, tough family who no one communicates and no one shows weakness. If you show type of weakness, it means you're a weak person where I come from. So I was stuck between all of that bravado and family, peer pressure and everything. Didn't know what to do. So I just didn't tell anybody about it until one day I exploded and I couldn't continue anymore. And I had to seek help immediately. And I do think that the most important thing with anyone who suffers with mental health is communication. Without communication with others, we're not going to get better. But I do promise anybody who's listening, anybody who's suffering, that it will get better. And there is going to be sunshine days once again. Because I've been there, I've woke up every day and I felt terrible. And there is no pinpoint accuracy on what causes this problem. Because if we knew, we just wouldn't do that thing that's caused it and move on. You can't tell someone to pull themselves together and get up and do it, because that just puts you in a deeper hole.
So how can you help somebody identify where rock bottom is, where you decided to make that choice, Tyson?
Me, I was on the way to a bridge doing 160 miles an hour in a high performance car. And I was 100% certain this was the day that I was going to end it all. 2016, 28 years old, I was undefeated world heavyweight champion. And I'm on a one-way ticket to death. And just before I hit this bridge, I heard a voice in my mind say, don't do this. This is not what you're going to do, because think about your kids going to grow up with no father. Everyone's going to say you're a weak person. No. And I pulled the car over immediately and I was shaking. And I called for help immediately. My father came and collected me. And I said, listen, this is what's going on. I need help immediately. I can't do it on my own. And I went and got help. I went and saw some doctors and I went to counselling twice a week. And we got over it. And without the help of a close unit and doctors as well, I wouldn't be here today, that's for sure. You know, only 18 months ago, the only place I ever envisaged I'd ever be was in a padded room, maybe. That was the best place I think I could have been. I definitely thought I was gone. I lost my mind. And I really believed that I was going to end up in a padded room. And it was a terrifying thought, to the fact of I wasn't going to go there because I was going to kill myself before I ever made it there.
Wow. And thank God, you know, you're sitting here today. And
100%.
do you battle every day still, or?
You know, mental health. Some people say to me, I do a lot of like shows and travel around Europe and stuff, doing these talk shows and stuff.
Right.
People come and speak and whatever. And the question I usually get is, how did you defeat mental health? And I stand up and smile and I say, look, mental health, you never can beat it, ever. There's no victory over mental health. I liken mental health to a famous song that the Eagles wrote, Hotel California, and there's a famous verse in there. And it says, you can check out any time you want, but you can never leave.
You can never leave, right?
And that is what mental health is about. You can check out any time you want. You can get better again, but it will never leave you, ever. You just got to learn to maintain and manage what we're suffering with. You know, yesterday I felt terrible. The day before I felt okay. And then maybe I would have had a couple of weeks where I've been feeling good, but, you know, there isn't a day go by that I'm not afraid to go back to where I was only a short period of time ago.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.